What is this? What? Why aren't they wearing any? They are underage? This is not okay. 0 out of 10. Fuck this. I'll see you next week, guys. Fine. If you want to see me watch shit so fucking much, then let's do it. Let's review Brave. Not bad, ain't going to lie. Pretty basic at times though. For some of the action scenes, they're using 3D animation, maybe because they thought it would look cooler or it would save time. It wasn't really that well done, but it didn't disturb me as much because most of the time I was probably just asleep from the boring ass plot. Not that the fights themselves were actually that interesting. The action scenes here can be compared to Michael Bay movies. High on spectacle and low on everything else. So you end up with this big and epic fight scene with no actual reason behind it, so you just wait until it's over to get more of the story. Spectacle though? Lots and lots of people love explosions. Why else would they make more of the same shit and more and more and more and more? This isn't the first of its kind. Before this one, there actually existed an anime called Strike Witches, and this is supposed to be a spin-off of that. So it's not really supposed to be that canon, and I'm counting it as its own separate entity. Also, I don't remember that much from Strike Witches before I watched that a long time ago. All I remember is that the plot was other shit, so yeah. As we can see, we have here our witches. They are young schoolgirls. Never told why young and only girls who have magical abilities. Fair enough, but they can't always use them, they have to activate them. And when they do, they get a tail and ears. This is closer to being a furry than an actual witch, you know that, right? But they never explain why that happens, so I can't really complain too much about it. So let's move on. The witch's power on these flying leg thingies to fly around and kill Neuroi. They are aliens. That's all you're gonna get. It's an alternate reality of Earth after the Second World War or something like that. And that's it. Quite literally, there's no further plot development. So many issues, so little time. I hate when the anime treats viewers like stupid idiots. I know that was kind of a redundant statement, but so is the anime. Not that it's bad, it works fundamentally. I can see witches powering machines to fight aliens, but Brave Witches doesn't really use the potential of the premise. I have such a huge list of issues right now, but I'm going to give you my main 3, so it would save a bit of time. Number 1. Why the fuck do they have blades on their feet? That is stupid! They power the flying machines with their magic abilities, so why not make something more believable? Something that shoots out jets of magic or something. But no, they have blades, which are an incredible hazard when landing. They don't really help maneuvering, and you can't put your legs together or you're gonna break. 2. Nothing is explained. There is no focus on world building, explaining the enemies, the powers, and even for a spin-off, that's a big no-no. Number 2. The characters here are cookie cutter as fuck. Let's play a game here. Imagine your most basic shonen with 4 characters that you have to give characteristics to. Now, fast. What you gonna do? What are you gonna give them? What personalities? Imagine the most basic shit you can. I think that's what the writers did. So we end up with the shy one, the angry one, the main protagonist one, and the sister. You don't actually need to know more. This is it. And anime doesn't even go further. That's how they start and that's how they end up with. There's no actual development. Which begs me to question, what the fuck did I watch for 12 episodes? Number 3. Why the fuck are they half naked all the time? Sure, they have these flying machines where their legs go into, so in a battle situation you have to be ready to go at all times. So yeah, that kind of covers its back, but they are naked all the time. When they're sledding, when they are cooking, when they are just walking around. I literally never see them wearing any pants in anime. Never. What is this? An alternate reality where pants don't exist? But they do on the male characters. Also number 3, they take this huge ass bullet that weighs a ton, somehow manage to raise it up over the top of their enemy, and let it fall down, expecting it to work like a normal bullet. And it does. Okay, now from the beginning to give you some context. Our main character is this girl over here. She's pretty bad, but her sister is the bravest witch of all, the greatest witch of all time apparently. And she came back from the front line to recruit more witches because they are in real need of power. Because they are in a real need of power to fight the enemies. So they decide to take one candidate. You're in trouble because you don't have enough manpower, and you decide to take one candidate. They flew the whole battalion there to recruit one member. They are retarded.
Humanity doomed.
And out of the whole school there are only 2 candidates. A girl at the top of their class, even the whole school, if I understood correctly. An actually good choice to go and fight. She excels in every subject. An actually good choice to bring in to fight the enemy. Somebody you could count on having your back in a battlefield. Or the main character, who, as the anime tells us, is actually the worst of her class, the worst in the whole school, who can barely even fly. So what do? They pick the main character, of course, because who wouldn't love to have an incompetent moron fighting next to you? She's taken to the front lines and, oh god, this pains me so much. The front lines, the epicenter of all the enemy attacks. The place that protects the Earth from the aliens. And that's all there is. 8 members. They don't have mechanics, cooks, caretakers, engineers, nothing. So each of the girls there have to do the jobs themselves. What disturbs me more is that they have these ridiculous breaks just all the time. It's supposed to be a war zone, but they go fucking sledding, just walking around, having fun. At one point they wanted to make a celebration for the main character because she was feeling ill, and they used all the resources from the base to do that, even going out to the forest and getting mushrooms, which were poisonous. So they ended up poisoning everybody in the compound except one person, and the enemy attacked. Of course, it ended up fine. Why wouldn't it? Oh, and also magic is like superpowers here. So everybody has different abilities. The main character can see inside the enemies to see their cores, that's their hearts. The blonde one can remember everything, and this one can punch really good. Okay, back to the main character. So she appears in the compound, and straight up, the first person she interacts with is this hater. A girl who just mindlessly starts hating on her. Who we know that they'll end up becoming best friends and stuff, but at first there has to be somebody to bring her back to reality or something, I don't know. She's another one of those basic bitches who doesn't have any personality except for one trait, and that's hating. The main character gets told that she sucks, fair enough, because she does. Everybody tells her that she is not ready and not nearly powerful enough because she isn't. She even proves that she's not worthy by taking the exams there and failing each one of them. It's told that the magic they use is something that you have at birth. It's not like endurance where you can build it up with training, and she doesn't have it. That's a good point. So they give her another exam and she passes, and everybody's fine with it now. And also suddenly her magic control is better. You can't say one thing and then say another thing who am I kidding? They can. This one thing that I can actually handle them, and that's that they don't use fan service that much. It could have been so much worse. You have half-naked, literally half-naked girls walking around all the time, and thankfully they don't shove that in our face. At least until the ending episode, when they do. And also I thought that this might end up as a harem anime, since one of the people at the compound is actually a guy and is flirting with the girls. But later on, it turns out that it's actually a girl. I was fucking surprised when I saw her flying. I thought only girls could fly. And then it turns out that she was actually a witch all along. My reasoning behind it is solid, because she was actually the only one in that whole anime that wears pants. So that's a pretty fair mistake. Okay, one last thing before the conclusion. There's this one scene that really pissed me off. You have one of the characters shooting in the middle of the night, and another one comes in and says, "Oh hey, you're secretly training, aren't you?" And they go with that. They go with secretly training in the middle of the night. Now, have you ever heard of a gunshot in your life? That's something you hear tens of miles away. You need hearing protection for that shit. And the guy is shooting it in the middle of the fucking night. Training secretly. You'd literally get your ass penetrated if you tried this in the real military. I have a small viewership right now, all from trusted sources and intelligent people. But this is for the future viewers, somebody who might stumble upon this video actually loving Brave Witches. So I have to bring up this point right now for those stupid cunts, and why I have so much problems with this seemingly innocent anime. And I'm gonna do it by drawing some parallels between this and Attack on Titan. They might seem completely different to you right now, but their core is the same, actually. Both of them have weird technology to fight mysterious monsters with an elite group of people especially trained for that purpose. But while Attack on Titan actually makes us care for the characters, explains the enemies better, and most importantly, doesn't treat us like idiots. It's about survival and military order. So you can see why I'm annoyed that Brave Witches have like 7 characters fighting in the front lines, doing absolutely nothing. This gets a 3 I Need a Lives out of hentai. Yeah, I know I ranted mostly through this review, but there isn't any actual story in it. You're not watching anything. Anyways, thank you guys for supporting me this far, for watching my videos, and please leave a like, it helps me a lot. And I'll be spreading more hate about the anime community next week. Bye. Bitches.